All right, good morning, beloved. Why don't you go ahead and start making your way to your seats, but don't feel like you have to sit there. We're going to go ahead and stand together as we sing Through the Precious Blood. So if you would, go ahead and stand with me. You have ordained every breath we take. In pleasure or pain, there is no mistake. Gladness and grief both are in your hands, and suffering's brief carry out your plan. And our fleeting sorrows will yield an endless prize when some bright tomorrow will see you with our eyes. And grace upon grace flows down, and grace upon grace flows down through the precious blood of Christ. Father of lights, giver of all grace, your mercies crown our lives all our days. River of life, quench our thirsty souls, for no true delight does your love withhold. And in every season we are satisfied for just one reason: Christ was crucified, and grace upon grace flows down, and grace upon grace flows down through the precious blood of Christ. All good gifts, every good thing comes to us freely, so freely. All good gifts, every good thing comes to us freely, so freely. Through the precious blood, through the precious blood. And grace flows down, and grace upon grace flows down, and grace upon grace flows down through the precious blood of Christ. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our services this morning. They're the first Sunday of June, if you can believe that. So everybody, welcome to our services here this morning. Particularly if you are visiting with us this morning, this is your first time, I would encourage you would find there in the back side of the pew in front of you a little card, a little cream-colored card. If you could fill out just a little information on that. And as you leave today, there's just a little box back there, a little metal box sitting right there in front of the sound booth. If you could just drop it in that way we'd have a record of your visiting with us here this morning. Now I'm going to encourage you to turn to the back side of your bulletins. We have several items, some areas of service that are coming here, but the same thing as some announcements make you aware of. Number one, no services here tonight. And you're like, well, why not? Well, if you can look behind me here, VBS is about to start, right? And so there's going to be some final preparation tonight here in the church in the auditorium. So no service or activities this evening. Also, the Embrace Ministry, the pregnancy crisis ministry. It's called Embrace, the little Change for Life, the little bottles. We've been seeing those around. Don't forget that. If you've got one of those, put your funds in that, however you want to do that. And those are due back here by the 20th of June. And speaking of VBS, again, that is this week. A couple of things to make note of. Kids, you can see your group that you'll be on. It's stapled up on the foyer back there in behind the auditorium here, so you can make note of that. Also, volunteers, please park in the east parking lot, so it makes room for the activities on the west side. And also, if you are a rotation leader or a group guide, plan on being here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for a little bit of breakfast and some information to be shared with you. Men, ICL, Institute of Church Leadership. This is going to begin, go through the summer for 10 weeks. It'll be starting on June the 12th. That is this coming Saturday morning. This is a 10-week study. It will be in the mornings at 6:30 to 7:45. And so that'll run probably through August. The topic's going to be really marriage, family counseling. And week one is God's design for marriage. So men, this is open to all men. If you want to be a part of that, see either Pastor Tim or Pastor Chris, if you would, please. Also, along with the VBS there, make note, on June 13th, we have like that's Sunday night, kind of a presentation of VBS, and there's going to be like a cookie reception for that following for those probably parents and friends that may be attending. So please, we need some cookies for that to be cooked up. And so there is a list out on the table out there, or I should say the cabinets right by this front door here on the east side of the foyer. There's some lists there, some things that they need. And as well, you'll find some slips for snacks for the workers. So please, as you head out, take a look at that. They're on those cabinets there by those east doors. And take one of those slips, and if you could provide that, that would be greatly appreciated. And one last thing, just want to mention Men's Night at the Ballpark. This is going to be Friday, July 16. This is an opportunity, men, to get together, attend a Wichita Wind Surge game. There is a sign up out in the foyer there, so please do that. They're wanting to try to get a group rate secured for that. So men, don't forget that opportunity come up about a week and a half. So one last thing I want to mention this morning. You don't find it on your bulletin. This is Communion Sunday, first week of the month. We typically do it. And we're going to do something a little different here this morning. You know, for the last year or over last year, we haven't been passing any communion around. We're going to pass today, okay? In fact, you can see some of it here right in front of me, but here's what's going to happen. It's going to be a little different than how it has historically been done, so I want you to be heads up. We are going to be passing the elements, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to have some men at the front. There's going to be some men at the back. They're going to come forward. The men at the front are going back. We're going to pass this basically all out at once, okay? And then you'll hold on to the element. We'll probably pass the bread out, and that's going to be followed with the cup. So just take that, hang on to that, and we're going to pass that out very quickly is the goal of doing this. Now, I would say this. If you'd say, well, I kind of like that prepackaged one. I'd really rather use that, not have the one that's been passed along. There are some back there in front of the sound booth. So if you would prefer to do that, you can get up now and go back there. There's still a song that's coming, and take that opportunity if that's what you would prefer to do. But just heads up, when the time of communion comes, we are going to be passing it out, but we're going to do it all together. All right, so Tim, if you'd come, pray, please.
Well, good morning. As David mentioned, and as well as you can see, it's VBS week, and so we'll be praying for that tonight. We're actually going to have a little prayer time. No service tonight, but if you want to pray for VBS, we're going to be praying in the power room there in the nursery wing from 6 to 6:30 or so, and have a prayer time just for VBS. I just wanted to tell you something before we pray. This year, we had a meeting for VBS about 3 or 4 months ago, just the initial meeting. And I specifically asked all the workers, I am the pastor here. I threw the pastor card out there. And I said, can we just go VBS light? VBS light, okay? Not gospel light, but VBS light. So I specifically said, can we have, no decorations? Because it was COVID last year, we didn't get to have it, and so I said, let's just try to put on one that's simple, and hopefully kids will come. And then I said, we don't have to have a skit. Well, there's a skit. And then I also said, All we have to have is the teaching time and the juice, like snack time. That's what I call it. That's the only 2 sessions we need. Can I just tell you something? Nobody listened. And who's overseeing? It's my wife, so there's a little tension there. So anyway, no.